Okay, today I'm going to give you the rundown on every gun in my collection. Every air gun that I currently own and a few that I've gotten rid of since then. I'm going to give you kind of a quick micro review of all of them. Now, don't get butthurt if I say something negative about a gun you have, because these are just my opinions and my experience with these guns. Let's get started. Okay, the first gun that got me back into air gunning came from my wife on a Christmas. This is a Gamo Silent Cat in a 177 caliber. This gun caused quite a fuss on my other channel because I cut this stupid thing off because it didn't really do anything. People seem to be real upset by that. This is just a good little plinking gun. I mean, if you're inside 25 yards or so, and I know somebody in the comments is going to tell me, well, I can shoot a 1/4 inch group of 50 yards with mine. Well, shoot a video of it and send it to me. I'll give you some props. Tricky to shoot, pain in the ass to load. You got to carry around pellets in your pocket. I just wasn't a big fan, but it was a usable gun and I killed a lot of pest birds with it. This is a Benjamin Trail nitro piston in 22. Good gun. I mean, not that hard to cock. A little hold sensitive, but that's just the thing with break barrels. But still, you had to carry pellets around and in your pocket and single load them. And this one just wasn't as accurate as the Silent Cat. I mean, I was proud of myself. I remember first time I shot some 2-liter bottles at about 40 yards with it. 2-liter bottles. So I started watching YouTube videos and going online, kind of getting in, the hobby a little bit more. And I finally made my first internet order, which was, of course, everybody's starting PCP, or mine anyway. Benjamin Discovery in a 177 caliber. Now, what I really liked about this gun, first of all, it was accurate. It'll stack pellets at 25 yards. And it'll hold about an inch and a quarter group at 50 yards with the right pellet. And plus you could work on it, tweak it. I put the trigger kit on it. I put the TKO muzzle brake, quietened it down. Really liked it. But of course, kind of like with the other gun, I wanted a 22. So, I got one. I got the 22 Discovery. It wasn't quite as accurate as the 17 caliber. I mean, it was at 25 yards, but out at 50, it wasn't quite as accurate. Seemed to be a little bit more pellet fussy. But I was hand pumping these things. I don't know if you've ever had to hand pump these. It sucks. And I still had to carry around a tin of pellets. Just set them off to the side, and I'd knock them over and spill them or carry them in your pocket. This wasn't quite going to cut it. So I decided to take the plunge. I went and bought a scuba tank, all the fittings I needed. There was a dive shop about 60 miles away, and I ordered the Marauder in a 25 caliber. I watched Ted shooting this gun, shooting shotgun holes at 100 yards with it. Oh, I got to get that, So I ordered it, and by the way, this is the first gun out of the box that I never did anything to. I mean, nothing. Had a great trigger compared to all the other guns I'd had, but I never done nothing to it out of the box. It shot phenomenal. I mean, it was literally stacking them, hole in hole at 40 yards with JSB Kings. Absolutely loved this gun. And now with the SCBA tank, I'm pimping big time. I'm uptown now. I'm an air gunner. Great little old gun. I just don't shoot it much now these days. But when I go back to the cabinet and feeling a little retro, I still break this one out. This is a great gun. If I had it to do over, this is where I would have started at instead of buying those others. Now I don't have the next gun to show you because I got rid of it. I decided I wanted to start doing some air gun reviews, and I'm not sponsored. Nobody gives me guns and stuff to review and test. So I went to Walmart and they had a Grizzly X2 dual caliber gun. Thought, well, what the hell, you know, it was like $100, I forget now, wasn't very much. Bought it, good looking gun, but the stock on that thing, it was a wood stock and it was so thick, I could barely, it just wasn't comfortable at all. I didn't like the gun enough that I never even got it fully broken in, because it's a break barrel gun. I never got it fully broken in before I gave it to a coworker's son. He'd been shooting the hell out of it. So after that, I decided I need another PCP gun, but I need one that uses less air. Marauder pistol. Yeah. Watched Ted review it. Watched, can't remember the other guy's name. He done a pretty good video on it. So I had to get me one of these. Good little gun, good little plinker. I'm going to say from 30 yards in, 35 yards in. But the main thing going for it was it shot best, shoots best from like 2200 PSI down to about 1200, and you could get like 4 or 5 magazines out of it with the velocity that it's set at. And it was a magazine like the Marauder, you know, huge step up, no more carrying pellets around. I like it. It's a good gun. I very, very seldom shoot it anymore. There for about a 4 or 5 month period, this gun was in my hands all the time. The good thing about it is you can hand pump these real easy, because you only got to go up to 2200 and you get a lot more shots out of it. Now the next gun I bought was the 22 Gauntlet. Yeah, when I first got it, it had all the inherent Gauntlet problems. Long trigger pull, cracked air stripper, stiff bolt. But once working through those things, man, it seemed pretty accurate. But I had a little old crap scope that I'd got off of in a package deal with Pyramid Air on one of the Discoveries, and that's the scope I had on there. And man, the gun seemed like it wanted to be accurate, but it would be just a little off. Then I put this little cheap 3-9 Hawk scope on there. Man, major difference. This thing will shoot 22 pellets off of my backstop at 50 yards on a calm day. And I'm talking 8, 9 out of 10. Just phenomenally accurate at that range. Huge shot count, huge shot count. You know, you get like 4 or 5 magazines out of it. I'm not that good with it out to 75. The groups start really opening up to about an inch, inch and a half. And at 100, it's real sketchy. But now I'm not a pro marksman or nothing. But this one's one that made me realize, you know, how good a regulated gun could be. But about this time, I decided, man, I want a bullpup. These things look great. So I ordered me a bullpup. I ordered a Crowell Puncher Breaker Silent. This one's in 22. I tried to order it in 25. But the guy at R&L Gun Supply told me that they didn't stock the 25. They had too much trouble with them. I should have knew right then. Just back off of it, take a pass on it, and, you know, try a different brand. But I ordered it. You've seen the video on the channel. Thing was a total washout and a total turd when I got it. Then it spent 6 or 7 months over at Troy Hammers, and he finally got it back to me. Shoots great now, shoots wonderful now. It shoots, you know, 1/4 inch groups, 1/2 inch groups of 50 yards with good pellets. You still got to sort them out. Magazine fed, but I've spent almost $800 on this gun. So I'm soured on it right from the get-go. So I don't know if I'll ever get past that. You know, I like the gun okay, but it kind of ruined me on it. Soon after I ordered the Crowell Puncher Breaker Silent, I'd been waiting on the Gauntlet 25. And waiting and waiting and waiting. Well, it released within a month or so of me buying the Crowell. So I had to have it. Went out and got it. I've upgraded the bottle, put the bigger bottle on it. It had the same problems that the 22 Gauntlet had. with stiff bolt, mile long trigger pull, cracked air stripper, you know, the usual stuff. Once you get past all of that, this is a very good gun. It's still not as accurate as I would like for it to be, but it's a solid gun. But it's a Gauntlet. It's a mile long. Still probably hands down, in a Gauntlet, still probably hands down the best bang for your buck if you want to go regulated. Well, after my experience with the Crow and then buying the Gauntlet, I still wanted a gun, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to go high end. So I went and I bought I bought my first high end gun, and I don't have it. I bought a Daystate. Let's just say I tried a Daystate and we had some trouble. They were willing to work with me. I let that one go. I got back a Huntsman, a little bit cheaper of a gun. Using a single shot tray, man, lights out. I mean, thing shot good. But that was before they started Yuma regulating them, and man, the gun looks so good. But I wound up selling it. So, where did I go from there? Probably one of the most popular guns on YouTube as far as air guns go. Man, I've had so many hateful comments. There are a lot of people out there, man, talk some crap on FX. I want to tell you something. If you notice, Ted shot a lot of different guns. Matt Dober shot a lot of different guns. All the biggest names in YouTube shot all kinds of guns until they got an impact. And I've had comments even on the last video that they're a piece of crap for $2,000. Well, I've owned another $2,000 gun. This one worked when I got it. I uploaded the video of the first shots out of this gun. Now, the gauges on it that came with it sucked. Sucked big time. But I've got them changed out. Outside of that, man, I don't have sort pellets. I bet I have shot 30 boxes of MK2s through this thing, the Mark II heavies. I've killed more pests with this gun in the short time I've had it than all the other ones combined. Well, except maybe the Marauder. Man, I was rocking the Marauder. It done good for me. Now I've started messing, you know, with the ATN scopes and the like, but I could have saved myself a whole lot of money and bought one of these, because once you get one of these and you get used to it, I hated the way they looked. That's why I didn't want to go with one. But once you get one, get a little bit familiar with it, man, the adjustability, for one, can get you in a hell of a lot of trouble, but it can really let you dial things in. And FX ain't paying me to say squat. I mean, I just love this gun that much. It's my favorite. It's hard for me to shoot any of the other guns when I've got this one, or be excited about shooting any of the other guns and making videos on them when I got this one. So, where am I going from here? Big bore. I've been waiting on the Umarex hammer, and man, I'm about to the point, you know, I ain't gonna wait no more. You see, you know, videos about it, but I don't know if there's some inherent problems going on there or what the deal is, but they sure don't seem to be in very big a rush to release it. The Air Force guns, everybody keeps saying Air Force, and they may be great, but hey, man, I just don't like the look of them. Evonix has got some, but I have zero experience with Evonix or Air Force, either one. But you kind of hear good and bad things about everything, so eventually it's up to you. And just like all these guns you've heard me talk about today, if I've said something that offended you because you own one of those guns, hey, that was just my experience and my opinion on it. Yours can vary greatly. If you love your Gamo Silent Cat and you're happy with it, hey, great. You made a good buy. I was just looking for something more. So try not to be too offended by any of this stuff. So we'll just have to see what happens on that. That's all I got for you today, guys. Get out of here.